welcome back to Studioloo. So today I thought I would jump back into mass making, basically because I just need to use up a bunch of scraps, and that includes both fabric and paper. So what I want to do today is just make clusters. They are like little pieces of like embellishment that you can use on other ephemera. You can use them on the pages of a journal. I have a bit of an idea with these ones. I think once they dry, I want to actually stitch over them with my sewing machine to make some interesting little clusters. So let's get started. So I have all of these different random little scraps of fabric. So I'm thinking I just want to literally glue them down with my glue stick because I'm going to be stitching over them. So, oh, and I'm starting this off on a great foot. I need a new glue stick. Hold on. Okay, we are armed again. Because yeah, I'll be stitching over them. So this will just kind of give a bit of a foundational stick to them. So what I'm using is a German plant book that I'm using for other things. And so I'm just going to use up these large pages instead of throwing them away. Because I thought that could be a better way to use them. Now this is kind of a wrinkly, I could iron it, but who has time for ironing right now? Not me. So what I'm going to do is just get a bit of a foundation layer down of something, be it fabric, paper, whatever. I'll start maybe with fabric on most of these, maybe a little bit of birch bark. I love birch bark. You always have the option to use this pretty white side or this really pretty, my favorite, the purpley side. So with clusters, you can just use up old large book pages this way, and then you can just literally tear them off, tear them all apart, and you have a whole bunch of different pieces of ephemera to use. So that's the plan today. So it is Monday today, Monday morning. I have finished up my work stuff for the morning. I got a bit of an early start, so I'm just going to take a little break now because I'm a little tired of stuff right now, a little tired of work stuff. Yeah, but it hasn't been a bad day or anything. It's been totally fine. I'm actually wrapping up a lot of things right now at work, which is nice. Okay, I'm just going to add this here with that one. And you can add focal points to these either after we're done making them or actually when they go into a journal. If you want to use a theme specific focal point, you can. You can sew buttons to them. You could sew anything really to them. I'm going to snip off this curly side here. From a sari. It's got a little bit of interfacing on the back, but I'm not going to remove all of it because I don't really need to, because I'll be stitching on these. Oops, there we go. So I think that will be good for this one. So now we've got a base layer there, and you can keep going with either fabric or paper. I'm going to try to just use scraps today in my ongoing quest to use up scraps. It's going to be a beautiful day weather-wise again, so I think I'm going to try to get all my work done early and go outside again today and maybe go somewhere with woods because it's a weekday, so it shouldn't be as busy as weekends. I have to admit I was a little bit freaked out yesterday because we went on a graveyard walk in this large graveyard that we like in an adjacent city to us. And the graveyard itself is like very quiet, you know, because we are the only Addams family around here, I guess. But seriously though, we drove through the downtown of like an adjacent city to us, and it honestly made me so uncomfortable to see how people are just congregating because the weather is nice. Like, ugh, it's got me feeling a little nervous. It's got me worried because our numbers here in Ontario are not going down. They are actually going up. Mostly, like they've been hovering around 1,300. I have a feeling after this weekend we'll probably start seeing them go up to around 1,500 a day, and it's tough. I'm honestly past like understanding why people won't cooperate and just help us get through this. Because I don't know about you, but I'm real tired of staying home all the time and only going to like weird places. So I don't know. I know there's a myriad of opinions, and I don't hate on anybody. I just want to get over this, and I think the safest way to do it is to listen to scientists because they know what they're talking about. Yeah, let me see. Am I running out of little bitties? Couple more little things, maybe some there. So the key here is just don't think too hard about this. This is just going to be, also you're going to get really sticky fingers if you do this. It's just the way it goes. It's just the way it goes. And I should actually get a baby wipe so I don't start gluing everything to my fingers, because I tend to do that. So this morning I was working a little bit on getting the signatures, stitched into the Poison Garden journals. Having a lot of fun with that. I didn't turn the camera on because I was actually watching I was doing my morning YouTube catch-up watching videos and stuff. Yeah. Okay, sorry, just a break for clean hands. I love this fabric so much. I'm so sad that I'm down to the last bit of it. Isn't that beautiful? Ah, I just love batik fabrics so much, so much. I went to a local fabric store recently that I had to get something. I forget now what I was getting a quilt batting and something else. Oh, a celestial panel quilt piece. I need to snooze that alarm. And when I was in there, I saw like the most incredible batik fabric I've ever seen. It was floral. It was just unbelievable, but it was like $28 a yard or a meter. I was like, oh my gosh. Nope, can't, not allowed. Sorry. It was worth it. I mean, whoever made that, like, wow. Kudos to them. It's probably like some kind of, you know, designer like locally, or you know, a popular international kind of designer who is responsible for it, and that's why it's so beautiful. But like, I'm just not allowed, because I would have needed about like 3 meters or something probably to make what I want, which is usually like a dress for myself and a little matching dress for my daughter or something like that. That's kind of what I had in mind, because matchies are fun. They're a lot of fun. Okay. Now, you know what I have that I think would go really good with these are these. There's some of the leftover bits from a Release the Crafting kit that I was using on the ladies' entomology journal. So I actually think these would be really nice pieces for the front. So I'm just going to do kind of a quick, honestly, I could just tear these and then I can ink around them. So maybe I'll do that on the next one. Not that it's taking me long to cut this out, it really isn't. So you could use, with this, you could use like art glitter glue if you have a heavier based fabric that like you really want to make sure this sticks to your fabric-tack actually, because there's fabric involved. But like I said, I'm stitching over these, so it doesn't matter. So let's try just tearing this. It's on cardstock. feel like my garbage is in an awkward place today. It's weird. Okay. Tear, but then I gotta ink as well. And I should use, I'm gonna use green to ink around these. Uh-oh, hold on. We've got a... Sorry. My phone just touched my Echo Show that sits on my desk here. It went a little kooky. It just started a song that Amazon is trying to advertise to me. Okay. Then put my ink here. All right, where is my water? Sorry about that. Stay hydrated, people. Yeah, we had such a nice weekend. We did a lot of walking, lots of graveyard walking, of course. That's what we do a lot of. It was beautiful out, and my kids were having a blast. My daughter was out on her scooter for the first time this season, and she loved that. And my son, I tried to, he turned a year old last November, and so he's still a bit little for those kind of things, but we have these little, I don't know what they're called. They're like little swivel kind of, they're like almost like a scooter, but you sit down, and it's kind of shaped like, I don't know, almost like a double-ended, like, canoe paddle. It's like a canoe paddle, but it's thicker. Let me snooze this alarm. And so like you sit on it, and like you can put your feet on the ground, and there's like a little steering handle. So I did try a little bit with him on that, but he was sort of like, what are we doing, Mom? Like, I think he just was kind of like, I just figured out this walking at a high pace thing, and that's what I want to do. So that's what he did. He had an amazing walk. I mean, we probably walk about at least 3 miles, probably, possibly even more. And he just is a little trooper. He just goes, and he was so stoked to be outside, kind of, you know, doing his own thing. I think he's really loving just the independence of like how he can just go and walk and not be picked up and not be like, you know, controlled in any way. He was totally in control of everything, so he likes that. But yeah, he also likes playing in the leaves. He likes walking in the really rustly leaves. He's a big fan of that, so he was doing lots of that. It was really cute and fun. Aren't these little like swipes and little like painterly kind of things great? Ugh, Priscilla's a genius. I love her stuff. I really do. Okay. So we have a couple more to embellish. I'm only 12 minutes in, and I've already got almost a whole page here. This is great. Super great. Okay, and then this one. This is the quick use it up kind of stuff that I need to be doing more of. Oh. But I'm also feeling a little bit like I haven't been getting much done in the way of journals. And I know some people are checking my shop right now and looking and going, what is going on? Why doesn't she have any new stuff? Well, it's mainly because I essentially took off last week. I just took last week off and did the Story Camp Disco art challenges. And so that definitely kind of set me back in terms of getting journal work done. But I'm so like not sad that I did it. I would do it again. I need to do that kind of thing from time to time, because I think I was feeling a little bit of burnout with making journals. I wasn't getting them done. I wasn't getting going with like the Poison Garden journals, and I think that's the break that I needed. So while I don't normally stitch on camera, I'm going to this time because I just want to show you what these are going to look like once they're done, okay? So just give me a minute here. we're going to do first some zigzag stitching. Okay, let's go. I'm just going to leave it connected and go right on to the next one. I'm just kind of stitching in a zigzag where I feel like this would look nice. Do a little bit of just plain old little teeny bitty regular stitching. I'm just going to trim my threads here. Okay, and I will just be another moment of stitching and then we'll be done, and I'll show you the end result here. Because I don't want to do all of these with this, I just want to do a couple. One more. Actually, two more. Okay. There we go. Okay, let me just grab my camera here. Stop this app. There we go. All right, so here we go. All of these are stitched around. Now we're just going to cut away these strings that are all over the place because I didn't break the string. I think it's a lot faster to just keep going when you're doing a bunch of little sewing projects like this. You just keep going. You don't need to break the thread every time. I was thinking the other day about how, you know, we can put a man on the moon, a woman on the moon, but we can't make a good sewing threader. I don't know if I mentioned that in another video, but like, I love auto threaders on sewing machines, but I find every sewing machine, and I have played with many, there's just something about them that they're like, I don't know, it's like the bar is low for creating these things. It drives me cuckoo. Okay, almost done here. All right, so we've got all the extra threads off the top, and so we've stitched on these, and then literally what you can do, I mean, you can also check at the back here and get rid of any threads like that are going to be a hassle. So we'll just do that just because and we're not dealing with them later. All right, so now what you do really is you just tear, because I like to have a little bit of the text visible around the motif. I think it's fun. The only thing about like having stitched them is these will get in the way, so you probably will have to trim them. When you don't sew, like, you're free as a bird to just kind of get tearing and not have any issues. So, okay, there's one. Then what I typically do is I either use Vintage Photo. This one I'm going to use this nice sort of springy green color, and I just ink around. And there we go. Pretty fun little cluster. And like I said, you can use these in a lot of different places. You can use them directly on a journal page. You could back them in something heavier like a cardstock and use them as like a shaped pocket or tuck spot in a journal. You can attach them onto ephemera like journal cards and tags. Yeah, there's a lot of options. So we'll just finish kind of tearing these out maybe. Now this one I stitched off a little because I had my machine kind of going on high speed, so I'm just going to snip that. Sometimes that high speed sewing machine, I almost like play chicken with myself about it. Like, can I leave my sewing machine on this high speed that I had it on for a safe project to do this more defined project? The answer is usually no. I usually goober something up, but I do enjoy a challenge. Oh, you know what? I'm totally forgetting to mention. I was going to mention it at the beginning of the video. Maybe it would make more sense that I did it either the beginning or the end. But you know what? I'm different than everybody else, so I'm going to do it in the middle. We have reached officially 150 subscribers, and I'm so like happy about that. That's really cool because, you know, I don't do this for like any real reason other than to just have a community and, you know, take part in the journaling community. I really like enjoy being a part of the YouTube artists and creators community. So it's really awesome to have 150 subscribers already. I didn't start making videos very long ago, and I just kind of freeform and do my own thing, and we're already here. So I want to say thank you so much to all the people who've subscribed, and I want to invite anyone who's watching to subscribe. So I'm going to do something kind of fun today. In the description box below, you're going to find a link to the 150 subscriber gift. So over the past, I'd say, well, March, during this mass making March, I have been making collage master boards that I've now scanned, and they would make really great collage pages for your journals, your books, anything that you're working on that you need like a little bit of fun collage. And so there are 10 of them in total, and I have scanned them and uploaded them to a Dropbox, and you can download them for free and use them however you like. They're completely yours. And so yeah, after you are finished with this video, take a look in the description box below, and you're going to see the Dropbox link to download that little thank you gift. So thank you for 150 subscribers. I'm totally stoked, and I hope we can continue to just grow together and keep making things and having fun and learning stuff. So that is that. Okay. I'm always dumbfounded at how like YouTube works. I actually have a cousin who has a YouTube channel, and she's like the loveliest, most wonderful person. She she does resin art and that kind of thing. And her name is Sherry Boudreau, and she has her own channel. I think that's the name that she is under. Maybe I could be wrong. I should link her, but she just reached, I think, like 700,000 subscribers. So I think what happened for her is that she either got mentioned by like another large YouTuber, or like she ended up in like the recommended creators. So, you know, that's one of those things that we have no idea how it happens kind of thing. But it does. It's kind of fun. It's great. I'm so happy for her. It's really cool. She was just as dumbfounded by it, I think, as anybody would be. She was like, how did this happen? But I'm so glad it happened to her, because she's probably one of the, sweetest people that I know. She's a very kind person. And also, she's really talented. She's done a lot of different kinds of like creative stuff. Like she used to be she used to make jewelry. She's a crocheter and knitter. She now does like art, resin, and pouring, like all that kind of stuff. Like she's not afraid to get into anything creative. She's very cool that way. Oops. Yeah, I have a lot of friends who have their own YouTube channels too. Like my friend he is really cool. He's actually he plays video games a lot. He's actually like an engineer. He's a genius, and even in the way he plays video games, he's a genius. He plays a game called Super Mario Maker, as well as other games, but primarily Super Mario Maker, which is like Super Mario, your traditional from your childhood, you know, if you're of that age, or your kids are, the Super Mario game. But Maker is actually a game where you can make your own levels, and so there's like a whole community of people in the world. It sort of started in Japan, but it's really a worldwide thing now, where people make levels that are referred to as kaizo, or just extremely difficult. Like kaizo is kind of one specific flavor of really difficult Mario level, but in the Maker game, you're able to make your own levels. You're able to be online and play the levels, the video game levels that other people have created. And let me tell you, there are just some, like, in my mind, impossible levels out there to play, like in Mario. But he is, I don't know what he's made of, but he's got all the patience in the world, and he will just grind at playing this game. And I mean, he's got a lot of natural talent for the game, or not natural, but just training, I guess. Like, he's spent a lot of time doing it. And he is amazing at it. So his YouTube channel also has grown now to like 1 million views or something, and it's pretty cool. I like to see that excuse me, people get, you know, to do the things that they really enjoy doing, and then they're able to sort of like monetize it in a way, or even just, you know, get like sponsors and things like that, because, you know, like, they are out there making content for free for people, and I think that's a really nice thing, you know. I hadn't really thought too much about it, but like when I do, I think like, yeah, you know, we put a lot of time into this. Yes, it's our hobby. It's a fun thing that we do for ourselves. At least in my case, I don't look at it like a commercial enterprise, really. That's why I make things, because, you know, I like to support my hobbies with my business, my actual Studioloo business, where I sell my yarn, I sell my journals, things like that. But, you know, it's nice to have a little bit of that kind of passive income as well, where, you know, you're creating the same kind of thing any other entertainer is creating. So it is nice to kind of get paid for it, right? But I think the ones who really benefit are like the platforms like Twitch and YouTube and all those places, you know, because they get the advertising money regardless. And I find these days also that the bar in order to be able to be monetized has gotten really high, so it's quite difficult. I also know there are a lot of large YouTubers who choose not to monetize, so they don't run any ads on their YouTube, which is their prerogative as well. I think if I were to do it, I would probably just do it like in a the way that I find least offensive, which is when, like, if you do have, you know, a monetized YouTube channel, that they only play ads maybe at the beginning and end of their video, or maybe one time during their video. Sometimes, like, some people just take it to, like, the most, like, I don't know, for me, very disruptive, and I don't really watch those videos. Not even by, like, choice. I just find it's almost like a subconscious thing that I'm like, oh, I don't feel like watching a bunch of, you know, a ton of ads. I don't mind some ads, but yeah, lots of stuff, lots of stuff. Okay, so now I need some scraps. Actually, I'll use up these last two pretties because they're kind of an easy focal point. They're sort of made right there for me. It's just kind of a more flat, clean kind of, like, that would be good for a pocket. Okay. There we go. Now I need some more little focal point type things. Oh, my fingers are way too sticky. Holy cow. I kind of destroyed my other baby wipe, so I have to use the second one. I'm really glad that we're past the point in time where, like, I remember when this whole thing with this, you know, pandemic started, at the beginning of it, like maybe last March, like literally a year ago, when everybody was panic buying. Well, I had a baby, you know, in November, and I found, like, from probably late February onward, it started to become, like, really hard to buy baby wipes, because I think because sanitary, like, hand wipes, like, Lysol wipes, things like that, that actually, you know, disinfect, sanitize, were out of stock. People were buying baby wipes, and I'm like, you know, that's not the same thing, right, guys? So can you please just not buy all the baby wipes, because I need them for my baby. It was kind of stressing me out. I had to, like, I ended up having to order some because I went, I had to order them from Amazon, which I don't normally do. Like, I try to, you know, only buy from Amazon when I have to, sort of. I don't buy a ton from Amazon. I obviously, like everybody else, have been using it more these days because of the whole, you know, difficulty in shopping situation and wanting to stay home more. But yeah, I had to order them because I went to 2 stores locally and they were just completely gone. And I'm like, okay, so this kiddo is not going to stop doing the thing that needs these wipes. And I know you can make your own and you can do all that. I mean, I've done the cloth diapering thing, and I am not in a position right now that I can do that right now. I just can't. I've done it. I do it sometimes, but right now I just can't all the time, especially if you're out and about. It's not the easiest thing right now. No. We've got these bug pages. I think most of them are a little bit too gruesome for anything. I don't think I'm going to use anything from there. So there's a piece of scrap I can just get rid of. That can go to... Sorry guys, I'm just digging through my scraps here. I tried to get as much as I could ready before this, but you know how it is. Okay, we have butterflies. We need 2. So let's use this one. And maybe this one. I'm so happy I found that international butterfly book. Oh, it's just so nice. Amazing. Really got to make good use of it in a few books now. I've used one of the blue pages in an indigo journal, and I've used some of the just full butterfly pages in the ladies entomology journal, and I've definitely done a lot of cutting out. If you ever find a book at your thrift store called the International Butterfly Book, grab it. It's a great book for this. Right now I'm trying not to do any kind of book thrifting. I don't need to. It's hard. Especially when you watch other haul videos and you're like, oh wow, like I want to go look for this or that. Like, oh. But then I also see the videos, which are like, you know, I've got too much stuff. I have to get rid of things. I'm purging, you know, so I'm trying not to get myself into a position where I'm like, okay, because we are going to be moving eventually here. We actually did a ton of cleaning out of our garage. Oh, and we exercised the power of miscommunication. So my husband, so I had, we did a bunch of cleaning, and we got started sort of, we're clearing out our garage and getting rid of a bunch of stuff because we want to use it as storage, a storage area for boxes while we are packing up to move. And so he got everything kind of ready for me to go in there and take a look at, you know, what I wanted to get rid of. And so I got rid of a bunch of stuff, like an old baby gate that was broken and a couple of metal broken racks from my old yarn rack, and like 2 of those like bases that come with your television. Like we hang our televisions on the wall, so we don't need the bases. And like I think like most people who keep the manual to everything, you know, I kept those as well for a while. But like I know I'm never going to use my televisions, my flat screen televisions in that stand-up model. Like I like having them on the wall. It's way easier and it takes up a lot less floor space. So, and with kids, it's safer because they can't like knock a television over. So, I'm like, I got rid of those 2 and some other like just kind of kids stuff that my kids aren't going to use. And so I put it all out on the porch. I hauled it all out there. There's a ton of stuff. And then my husband's like, okay, well, I'm going to spend some time out here, you know, in the garage. Then I'll load up the car to take this to the charity shop. And I was like, okay. So miscommunication occurs. So he starts his work in the garage and, you know, he's writing me back and forth and we're deciding the things that we're going to get rid of. All good. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to load up the car and take all of this to the charity shop while you're, you know, with the kids, whatever. So I said, okay. So away he goes. Then I had to go in the garage yesterday to get something. Oh, my daughter's scooter to go out scooting. And I see all the stuff that I hauled out of the garage onto the porch, back in the garage. Organized, but back in the garage. So I'm like, what is going on? Why is this in here again? I told you to get rid of it, to take it to the charity shop. He's like, oh no, I thought you said to put all that in the garage. And I'm like, oh God, why did I take it out of the garage? He's like, I thought you just wanted it organized in the front of the garage. I'm like, no. So then I was just like, all right, forget it. So I put all of it on the curb, you know, with the intention that we'll either load it up or somebody will take it. Because we have like, I don't know what it is, like with metal scrapper people, but like they come out of the night like a ninja and they're just like, they take your stuff and they're gone. Like, it's amazing. I'm so like happy about it because every time I've had to get rid of an appliance, like a dryer, a dishwasher that was broken, I put it on my curb and within probably 20 minutes, it's gone. Just disappeared. No idea what's happened to it. And so, I mean, I know there are a lot of people who do scrap, like they make money on metal scraps, which is totally awesome. Like, make that money. I remember in my old house that we were renting before we bought this house, there was an ice cream truck that came through our neighborhood almost every day, and with his annoying like ice cream truck sound. And one day I saw him loading up my old dishwasher into his ice cream truck. So that was a man with two jobs. So here we go. We have more clusters. These ones are not sewn, entirely made from scraps. Super fun, right? So okay, well that is my mask making for today. We've got 2 piles of fun, ready to go clusters. So thank you so much for joining me. And all of my social media information is down below in the description box. And today, because we've reached 150 subscribers, there is a giveaway, a gift rather. It's for everyone. So if you just go down below the video, you'll see the expanded description of my video with all of my information there. And I'll put it at the very top, the Dropbox link to 10 digital masterboards for you to download and use as you like in your collage or what have you. So thank you so much for subscribing and for hanging out with me, and have a great day.